Welcome back to the Balking Dead. And I'm still your host, Sharpie's Bets. And this show is still sponsored by Prize Picks. So go on over to Prize Picks if you haven't used promo code Pub Sports. Why? Your first match deposit with us up to $100, they got you. So do us a favor, do you a favor, and go on over there and use that promo code. What up with the chat, though? I see y'all already in here. Smash the like if you guys haven't. And if you're in Twitter world, hit the link. This video will end shortly. So come join the chat. The best MLB prop show / prize picks, whatever you want to call it. You play fantasy baseball, you play DraftKings, FanDuel, you should probably watch this show. Why? Because I'm pretty good at this prop stuff. So, yeah, let's get to it. Shout out to the chat. Smash the like if you already haven't. And hit the retweet and share. Let's keep this show growing. We built this show from the ground up. We started with 20 to 30 live, and we built it to 50 plus every day. Let's keep making goals and smashing goals, and we're only going to keep getting bigger by winning. So we got some props to talk about, and I do have 4K props, I bet. One full unit and the other half units. With us coming back from the All-Star break right now, us as in baseball, we need to take, I do personally, I need to take it easy. At the end of the day, April was my worst fucking month over the last 2 years, and coming back off the All-Star break has always been a little shaky. So I am going to bet half units unless the play tells me otherwise. And there's a spot where I wanted a max bet, and I have to remind myself that it's coming off All-Star break, so I put a 1 unit bet on it. And let's get into these K props and these hitting props that you guys have all shown up for. So let's talk about the first game of the day. Padres and the Mets. Is it not the best game of the day? I think so. We got Hugh Darvish versus Max Scherzer. It might be another better game, though. We'll talk about that one in a minute. But Hugh Darvish is 8-4 with a 3.41 ERA and 17 starts. He does have a home 1.94 ERA and a road 5.25 with 10 straight games going 6+ innings or more. He's coming in off of 7 days rest, and he's pitched well this year in that amount of rest. The Padres have been on a 6-man rotation this year, so he's seen multiple times of 7 days rest. So this is nothing out of the ordinary for Hugh Darvish. The only issue is that road 5.25. All right, I hear you. So the last 4 games, he has 9+ strikeouts 3 times. He has not seen 9 strikeouts 1 time up until that point. So what has changed? To me, guys, at the beginning of the year, we talked about Hugh Darvish had a new catcher. This was the first time in a long time that Nola was now catching him instead of Carantini. He used to have a catcher that followed him wherever he went. And to me, by the numbers, it seems over the last month that Nola is starting to realize what to call for the strikeout pitch with Hugh Darvish. And numbers don't lie. They're like lawyers. So it's our job to figure them out. And let's see if they're lying here. He did play this team earlier this year, June 7th in San Diego, 7 innings, 2 hits with 0 earned run and 6 strikeouts. Now it's time for a little bit of math. How's Darvish? Well, at home, he averages a K per inning, so 9 strikeouts per 9. And on the road, he only averages 7.5 per 9 innings. Well, how is he lefty-righty? Well, he's pretty much the same. He's about an 8.1 versus right-handies per 9. Right-handies. But, and versus lefties, he's an 8.53. So the guy pretty much pitches the same K-wise versus lefty and righties. He is a strikeout and a half different on the road. But like I said, let's run these numbers. June 7th versus today's. Today's coming into the last 200 plate appearances before the All-Star break. So on June 7th, the Mets were walking 6.1%, striking out 20.4% with a 306 average and an 868 OPS and an ISO of 211. They were doing really damn good, guys. Then he went 7 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned runs with 6 strikeouts. Now we look at their numbers now. They're walking 8.1%, so 2% better. They're striking out the same, 20.2%. And their average in OPS has fallen down. They're now at 247 average and a 731 OPS with an ISO of a 150. So pretty much middle of the pack with all their numbers. So K-prop wise, Darvish is at a 6+ at +112, and on Prize Picks they're giving us a 5 at -251, and his fantasy score is a 36.5. I'm gonna take this 5 on Prize Picks, guys. The numbers tell me that he got 6 versus this team when they were hitting a lot better. The strikeout and walk numbers are still the same. And it seems like over the last 4 weeks, his catcher has seemed to figure out Darvish. So Darvish at 5 will be on my Prize Picks ticket. His 6+, I don't hate you if you're on it today. I'm not going to bet that, but Prize Picks will give me a 5, so I'll strap that on there, even though I think he gets the 6. So if you see this guy go out and get a bunch of strikeouts again today, him and Nola figured it out, guys, at the end of the day. And we're not talking about Aaron Nola. We're talking about Austin Nola. They are brothers, but one's a catcher, one's not. So, yeah, let's talk about the next side of this. Mad Max. And if you know this show, you know me. Mad Max may be one of my favorite pitchers to watch, maybe one of my favorite pitchers to bet on. This guy is one of the guys you just love to bet on. As the guys in the MMA world say, he just fights for your dollar. And even though they put you a big ass number, you don't get scared, and you're not scared. You look into it. Why? Okay, why is it big? Oh, okay, this is why it's big. So let's talk Max Scherzer. 6-1. Oh, what's today though? I gotta say that. So today is 7/22. Huh? This show, if you watch it, you know 22 is a big thing. So smash the like because 22 is the minimum. But 22, you got to believe in numbers, like my guy Big Show upstairs doing the backstage right now. He's a big gematria guy, and you got to pay attention when 22s keep popping up. So Max Scherzer 6-1 with a 2.22 ERA. I mean, is that not a sign to me? Okay, well, all right. Don't tell me too many more times, Max. But let's get into the real numbers. I can't bet crap like that realistically and tell you to tell me. So, in 11 games, he has the same home road splits ERA-wise. He's been off the IL for 3 weeks. He's gone 20.1 innings. He's allowed 3 earned runs with 31 strikeouts. He played the Padres 5 times last year, 8+ Ks in 3 of 5 games, with 2 of those games being within the same 15-day period. And I preach that within the same back-to-back or a 14 to 15-day period, you're probably going to get hit and strike out less. So it's just life's a bitch, then you marry one type thing, guys. So at the end of the day, he has been hit by them sometimes, and he has not been hit by them sometimes. He has not seen them this year. So when I go through every time somebody has seen him this year, including teams like St. Louis who do not strike out to nobody and their mother, because, I've been on K-props and they just don't pass. It is what it is. There's a few teams that you got to be careful running K-props in. St. Louis, Washington, Houston, Cleveland, Royals. Royals not in Toronto because it's a different team. But there's a lot of teams that are contact-wise, guys. And the Mets are one of them. I'm not going to lie. Running Hugh Darvish, the Mets are a big contact team. Those are one of the teams. But Hugh Darvish loves to be in the zone, and if he's got that split finger working, watch out now. But we're talking Mad Max, guys, and he's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different teams one time this year. He has not had more than 9 strikeouts in one of those games. He had 6. Every other game, he had 9+ strikeouts. They are going to give us his K-prop at 8. This morning, it was 8+ at even money. I'm on that. Prize Picks is 7.5. It'll be on my ticket. Why? Well, let's do some math time. On home, he averages 10.35 K per 9. Okay, he does average a little bit more on the road, 12.73. We do have him at home. That's fine. This guy is one of those pitchers that's just mind-boggling. Like, you have to look at the stats a few times when you're writing down the math, and you're like, what's going on here? But most of the time versus a righty, you want to stack a left-handed line. That's just the way it is. You're going to put the more left-handed bats you can in. Well, that usually plays against a right-handed pitcher. Usually a right-handed pitcher's balls play against a righty. Well, he strikes out 12.58 righties per 9. That's fucking great. But the lefties, it's 16.9. So let's just say 17 strikeouts per 9 innings versus left-handed bats. And they're projecting at least 4 left-handed bats in this lineup. Like, oh, man. All right. So Max Scherzer has had 8+ in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7 games this year. So that's a number I'm willing to check off my box. 9 strikeouts or more. And 6 out of 7 games seeing a team for the first time this year. You can't hate that. So there is a good percentage looking our way. And then It's Mad freaking Max, guys. They're going to put lefties in the lineup. Now, does he get hit? That's not my problem. My problem is get some strikeouts. And he's the type of guy that when he does get people on, he gets pissed. And that's when we get more strikeouts. So Mad Max will be a half unit play today. And yeah, let's sign me up for some big dog. No run first inning is at a -170. Both bullpens over the last 30 days are middle of the pack to top 10. Mets are 9th with a 3.46 ERA, and the Padres are 15th with a 3.86. Hitting props to talk about, but I do not have a bet in it, is Francisco Lindor versus Darvish. You're going to look at his numbers. You're going to see 16 plate appearances. He has 5 hits, but look at those hits. He only has 1 extra base hit. So he has 2 walks and 2 Ks, but most of those hits are for singles, guys. Well, if you want to look for a parlay piece, I think that's the parlay piece is the hit. It's -201 for a hit. You need to make sure you're looking at hits and total bases from hits, and they're going to be off by about $1 to $1.50 in juice, guys, and it's the same exact fucking bet. Total bases from hits. That's 1 base is a hit, guys. At the end of the day, it's worded different. It's like the California driving test. They give you 30 questions, 7 questions worded 10 different ways. Like, I know the math didn't add up there, but you catch my drift. So they're just rewording things throughout the bet thing, and you need to figure out the better juice if you're into making prop parlays. And I think him for a hit today is great. Why? Well, he went 0 for 3 versus him on June 17th. He's batting over 350 lifetime and over 15 plate appearances. So laws of average say you get a hit 3 out of 10 times, and that's what he averages versus this guy. He went 0 for 3 versus him a month ago. Well, averages say you're getting a knock today, and by the numbers, it's probably a single. So if you're looking at betting at just single props, I think that's the way. My book don't just offer me that, but I would bet a straight single, like single, straight up on Lindor today. Then we got Starling Marte versus Darvish. 15 plate appearances. He has 5 hits, 2 extra base hits, a home run, and a double. Last time in the game versus him, he got hurt stealing, and he went 0 for 1 on a fielder's choice and got hurt stealing. So not a lot of sample size. We don't got that 0 for 3 from Mike Lindor. And that 0 for 3, the last time you've seen him is money in the bank to me, guys, because baseball, like I said, the best hitters only get a hit 3 out of 10 times. So averages mean something in baseball, and that laws of averages say he's getting a knock today. So bam, boom, bam, 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 boom. Let's go talk about the K prop. I got a whole unit on today. This is the one I wanted to max bet, and I got to tell myself, relax, like Aaron Rodgers said a couple years back. Shout out to the chat, guys. 35 live. Smash the damn like. Hit the share. Hit the retweet. And let's get to the monies. Kevin Gausman, 6-7 with a 2.87 ERA in 17 games. He has a home 3.67 ERA and a road 2.0 flat. Pretty damn good, right? Well, taking the fact he has played 3 more games at home, so it probably will come up a little bit, but still, he has been really good on the fucking road. He's coming off a game versus the Royals prior to the game before where he got hit with a comeback, and he was out for about 8-9 days, and I had to stay off of him and make sure that he pitched well. And he did pretty okay versus a bum Royal team, though, guys. At the end of the day, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs with 6 strikeouts versus a Royals team that was missing 4 of their starters and had 4 people in the lineup that hadn't seen a at-bat in the major leagues this year. But the fact of the matter is he went 6 innings, and that's what we needed to see. We saw that he was okay, and he's ready to go and to be bet on again. Well, this guy falls into like a salami spot to me, guys. I'm going to give you some information, and I'm going to keep some of that information in my pocket, because if I tell you all of it, just stop watching my show. But when he has 8+ strikeouts tonight, thank me later. Huh? Okay, Kevin Gausman. Let's talk about these numbers. Math time before we get to numbers. We got to love math time. At home, he's averaging 10.46 K per 9. We're on the road, it's a 9.8. And versus lefties, he only strikes out 7.83 per 9. And versus righties, it's almost a 13 K per 9. Well, let's run into these numbers. He's played them 3 times this year. 21 innings. He's allowed 1 earned run with 8, 9, and 10 strikeouts, and that's including a back-to-back versus this team. Damn. He owns this team. There's another guy who I got to keep in my pocket. Reminds me a lot of Kevin Gosman. And he owns this team too. So Kevin Gosman has had 8+ strikeouts in the 3 games this year. So let's run their numbers up versus the numbers they are today. And he is getting a gift from the gods, and he already owns them. Over the last 15 days, they're walking 5.5%, striking out 26.4%. That's a lot, guys. That's a okay. Then 212 average, 601 OPS with an ISO of a 130. They're just fucking bottom 10, middle of the pack right now. Average hitting. And he already owns this team. He ran up versus this team earlier this year when they were hitting the ball. 291 average with an 819 OPS. Walking 17.2% of the time. I mean, that's strikeout. Striking out 17.2% of the time, walking 9.2. All better than through the roof than the numbers he's getting now. Too many things are adding up for my man right here. And they gave me a 5.5, and I laughed. You know, I knew they were going to give me a 5.5. If you talk to me, and I talked to a few people about K-props, I told you they're going to give me a 5.5 on Gosman tomorrow. And I'm going to fucking smack them, guys. And this is my spot. This is my favorite spot of the day. And got to keep that little secret in my pocket. And yeah, let's have a great day with him. So let's look at his props. It's all juiced up. Right now it's at a 6+. When I bet it, 6+ minus 142 is where I bet it. His 7+ is plus 106. On Prize Picks, they're offering you a straight 6. So I'm not going to hook a straight 6 for a push on my Prize Picks when I can bet that straight up to get that 6. And I will be doing that. So that's my favorite play of the day. His fantasy score is a 33.5. And I would look at playing that on Prize Picks. Personally, he's gone 6.1 innings or more versus this team. Every game he's played them this year, he's allowed a total of 1 earned run in 21.1 innings, and he has 8+ strikeouts in every game versus them. So too many things are low that you've got to just look at playing him in whatever way you want. And now let's talk about the other side, and it's Nathan Eovaldi, and I think he's in a good spot too. So let's talk about Nathan Eovaldi. 4-2 with a 3.34 ERA in 13 games. He does have a home 4.57 and a road 2.56, but he has also played 3 more games on the road, so a little bit off. But a 4.57 at home still hasn't been that good. But still, at the end of the day, Eovaldi is an ace. And Eovaldi's now coming off the IL, and he pitched 7 days ago. And he got hit by the Yankees, and that's okay. I'm glad that he got hit by the Yankees. 4.1 innings, fine. He got hit, 7 hits, fine. We are going to look at running him now. Why? It's the same thing with Gosman. When a guy's coming off the IL, I expect the guy to get hit. If he pitches well, great. The best news we can hear is a guy's making his next start. And when a guy's making his next start, that means he feels really fucking good. So we know Gosman's feeling good, and we know Eovaldi's feeling good. He played the Blue Jays twice this year on a back-to-back. And Eovaldi's one of those guys like Barrios that pitch better on a back-to-back. So mind you, this goes back through years with some guys like that. They pitch better on a back-to-back. So let's get into how he pitched versus them on a back-to-back. He went 4.1 innings the first game, 7 innings the next game, 5 days later, guys. Like, yeah, he's an ace, bro. He knows how to pitch. So let's get into the runs. Well, first game, 3 earned runs. The second game, he got hit for same thing, 3 earned runs. Then he had 6 and 5 strikeouts in both of those games. Now, when I run those numbers on the back-to-back up versus today, they were walking only 6% of the time. They are now walking 10.6% of the time. They were striking out at almost 23% of the time. Now it's at a 19. Their average is pretty much the same, right around a 245 average, middle of the pack. But their OPS has dropped off, 727 to a 683, and an ISO's fallen off from a 174 to a 124. So he had 5 and 6 strikeouts versus this team when they were hitting a lot better than what they are now. I expect a big bounce back game from Evaldi, and I don't hate anybody looking to run his K prop. It's at 6+, it's plus 122. On Prize Picks, they're going to give you a 5 at minus 251. That's gold in my eyes. If you like to drop some stuff down, he has 5 or more versus this team, even when he was getting hit hard. I expect a big bounce back. He's healthy. He's ready to go. And yeah, Evaldi should have a great game, in my opinion. They are not offering his fantasy score, or else I'd be on that personally. No run first inning in this game is at a minus 120, where the Blue Jays pin is 21st with a 4.11 ERA, and the Red Sox pin is 18th with a 3.91 ERA. So, hitting wise, we got to talk about some props. Now, I don't have no hitting props bet in this game, but we still got to talk about the ones that make sense. Because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So, Biggio has 2 home runs and 7 at bats off of Evaldi. The stupid fucking thing, guys, he has 2 home runs on the whole fucking year. Like, this guy doesn't hit home runs, and he has 2 home runs and 7 at bats. So, does he see him well? You're going to get super value if you take a guy's home run who doesn't hit fucking home runs. Am I going to be on it? No, I'm not betting the guy who has 2 home runs on the year. But he may fucking just see this guy really fucking well. Lourdes Gurriel versus Evaldi, 18 plate appearances, 5 hits, 3 singles with 2 jacks. He has 2 walks with 4 strikeouts. So looking for a home run type guy. This guy is swinging, but he's more of a single hitter. He does have 2 home runs off of him. I get it, guys, but I would look more towards his hits, runs, RBIs if you're looking at running some Gurriel. And on the other side, it's Rob Rayschneider versus Gausman. 13 plate appearances. He has 4 hits. It looked really crazy until I broke it down. He only has 3 singles, a double with 2 walks and 2 Ks. So at the end of the day, a lot of these guys are getting a lot of singles off of these guys, and I'm not trying to jump in the middle of that. So I'm going to pass on hitting props and don't hate either K prop, but I will be on Gausman myself. Shout out to the chat. Smash the damn like and hit the share, hit the retweet. Nobody loves Sharpie anymore, huh? Man, I guess I got to just win for us and just keep it going. So Angels and Braves, Shohei Ohtani and Charlie Morton. Let's do it. Ohtani's 9-4 with a 2.38 ERA. He has a 2.05 ERA home and road with a 2.79 ERA on the road. So pretty much elite both ways. He's on 7 days rest and pitched fine on this amount throughout the year. He's in a 6-man rotation over there in LA, and they expect him. I mean, not expect him. They've put this in his rotation already, so this is normal for him to go 6 or 7 days. And he's in a spot where I want to bet him at the end of the day. It's Shohei Ohtani. 4 straight games with 10-plus strikeouts. In his career versus the National League, he has a 1.44 ERA with an 11.52 K per 9. So when we look at math time with Shohei Ohtani, home versus road, pretty much the same. He's 13 strikeouts at home, 12.5 on the road, both elite. Versus lefties, it's a 12.15 K per 9, and righties, it's a 13.21. So, what are we going to do? Well, what are we going to do? We're going to look at these Braves numbers, and right now, they're walking 5.8% of the time, striking out at 24% of the time with a 258 average and a 787 OPS, and an ISO of 224. You run to his props. If you bet it last night, you got a hell of a good number because it moved like that. So let's talk Ohtani-san. 9+, and it's anywhere from minus 106, and we use mybookie.ag's number. So 9+ at minus 106 is where they have it. I have it at plus 122 at 9+. So that's where I'm going to throw a half unit bet on it. This guy owns the National League. At the end of the day, this guy's been hot. He's been fire, and I've got to just keep riding Ohtani. The strikeout numbers and the walk percentage numbers tell me to play him, so I will play him. He's owned the National League, and when we talk about hitting props, that's probably the only guy I'm going to mention in this game because there's no Mike Trout. He did go to the IL, so it's Ohtani or bust pretty much right now for the Angels, and he's been doing nothing but shine. So unless he's in New York, so let's just leave him alone. Let's not bet him when he goes to New York. Charlie Morton, on the other hand, is 5-4 with a 4.45 ERA in 18 games. He has the same home road splits, going 6+ innings in 5 of his last 7 games after only going 6+ innings in 1 of his first 11. He did break his gosh damn leg last year, and it took him obviously a few months to fucking figure it out, and now he's back to being old man Charlie Morton. So, the last 5 games he's been versus teams that haven't been hitting, and he's done really freaking well. Well, guess what, guys? We all know the Angels are not hitting. So once again, he gets a matchup where by the numbers is the most favorable matchup for Charlie Morton all year. He's getting the lowest walk percentage, the highest strikeout percentage, the lowest average OPS and ISO that this man has seen all damn year. So how do I know that? Because Sharpie is psychotic and has over 30 hours on the All-Star break on pitchers that we like to bet. So Charlie Morton is number 11, guys. Let's go to number 11. Charlie Old Man Morton. This is him, whoop, every 2 weeks, guys, up against the numbers of the teams he's faced. Now, when I go through these numbers, this just the fucking sets up for this is a huge Charlie Morton spot, and that's why they have his K prop at 9+ plus 110. Well, let's do some math on Charlie Morton. Home, he averages 11.25 K per 9 compared to 9.5 on the road. Well, he's at home, and you got him averaging 2 strikeouts more per 9. Versus lefties and righties, it's pretty much the damn same. He averages almost 10 strikeouts per 9. So, and lefties, actually lefties, it goes up 11.1 versus lefties and 10 versus righties. So this is another guy who, when you load up a left-handed lineup like most teams will do versus a righty, he strikes out more lefties than righties. So once again, he's going to have more lefties in the lineups than righties. And then he has 2 strikeouts more at home. And now he's going up against a team walking 5.8% or walking 8.3% of the time, striking out 32.1% of the time with a 202 average, 560 OPS, and a 0.78 ISO. Just straight garbage, guys. At the end of the day, this is a layup spot for Charlie Morton, and he should just go out there and deal. And I expect Shohei Ohtani to match him at the end of the day. No run first inning is at a -135, and the Angels pin and Braves pin, way, way, way different. We already know that. I shouldn't have to tell you that, but Angels pin is 20th with a 4.08 ERA, and the Braves pin is 5th over the last 30 days with a 3.14. Like I said, I think most of these pitchers are going to be on fire today, and if I was to bet a prop, I'd be looking at Shohei Ohtani. His 2+ bases is at +100, but once again, if you're a guy who likes to bet props, his hit is -167. So how many times have we seen Shohei Ohtani go out there and throw 6-7 innings and do all the work with his own bat, guys? Too damn many times. So a hit, -167, might be on a few parlays today. So let's talk a couple props. And then let's get into some prize picks. Corbin Burnes, guys. We got to do a little breakdown on Corbin Burnes. So I have a full unit on Gosman over 5.5 strikeouts at -142. I have a half unit on Max Scherzer at number 8+, so at even money. And then Ohtani, I got a half unit on 9+ at +122. And then I'm going to do another half unit on Corbin Burnes, guys. At the end of the day, his 8 strikeouts is anywhere from -140 to -160. And I got to fucking bet me some 8 strikeouts with Corbin fucking Burnes. Here in fucking why. Corbin Burnes is 7-4 with a 2.14 ERA and 18 starts with a 144 strikeouts in 113 innings. 6 straight games going 6+ innings and coming in off of 8 days rest, where last year he pitched on 11 days rest after the All-Star break and almost went the whole damn game, 8.1 innings. So we don't got to worry about Mr. Corbin Burnes being yanked. All right. He has not seen the Rockies this year, but last year he did see them on a back-to-back, and I remember this game. I watched Corbin Burnes, and I pay attention to him, and I got a memory, guys, that's just for a pothead, you'd be surprised. So don't say all potheads have bad memories. At the end of the day, I got a really damn good one. And on the first game in the back-to-back, he pitched in Colorado. He went 5.1 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs with 1 walk and 6 Ks. This is why I don't bet on guys on their first time in Colorado, because they don't know how their pitches will react. He only threw his fastball changeup in Colorado. He threw away every other fucking pitch and only threw his fastball changeup. And he got through the game 5.1 innings of just fastball changeup. The very next 5 days later, he's seen them. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run with 2 balls and 7 Ks. So 7 strikeouts on a back-to-back, still really good. So let's talk about the last 15. They're walking 8.2%, 21.5 K percentage with a 269 average and a 719 OPS and an ISO of 163. They have been hitting the ball about top 10, the middle of the pack. I get it. Well, let's do some math. At home, he averages 12.67 K per 9 compared to a 10.24 on the road. We got Corbin Burnes at home. Versus lefties and righties, he's the same damn guy. He averages 11.5 K per 9. So don't matter how you want to stack your lineup, no back-to-back, and you get to see Corbin Burnes for the first time this year. And just by the numbers, I need 7 innings for 9 strikeouts. 9, just for 9. And I'm betting 8 right now, guys. So if you can get 9, I endorse the 9. Once again, it's a half-unit bet for me. So got to tread cautiously coming out of the All-Star break. But by the numbers, he needs 7 for 9 innings, and he's gone 7+ innings 4 of his last 5 games. So there's so many things adding up to me that this guy should and will cash us our K prop today. So let's talk about a few hitting props and talk about prize picks. Alex Bregman, guys, he's hot. Dude's on fire. He may be a cheater, but the dude's starting to hum. And versus Marco Gonzalez, he has 35 plate appearances, 10 hits, 5 singles, 4 doubles with 1 home run. So in 10 hits, this guy has 5 extra base hits. This guy loves hitting lefties better than righties, and the guy's humming right now. The only reason why I'm going to have to stay off his 2+ bases is at plus 127, and his hits, runs, RBIs is 2+ minus 122. And those are love for the type of numbers he has versus this guy's. They played a doubleheader and had to travel. So I am a little worried about that travel spot. And Seattle does have a top 10 bullpen. And it's not just about tacking starting pitching, because what if that starting pitching has your number that day? So if you're looking at some good value today, that 2+ bases plus 127 is just screaming at me. If he wasn't on a travel spot, I'd be smacking him right now. The one guy that I have to fucking bet, and I'm going to split this bet up, 2+ hits is plus 150, and 2+ bases is plus 102. Freddie freaking Freeman. If you don't know how hot this guy is, you need to turn on an MLB show or Sports Center. He's on a 9-game hit streak with 19 hits in those 9 games and 37 total bases. That's over 2 hits a game right now, guys. He's averaging. And he's averaging almost 3. He's averaging over 3 bases a game. It's just absurd what this man is doing right now. And stay hot, Freddie, and sign me up, please and thank you. I have to bet me Freddie Freeman at this pace. 2+ hits is plus 150, like I said, and his 2+ bases is at a plus 102. Sign me up. Let's talk prize picks. Let's get to the money. Prize picks, guys, I'm on that 7.5 with Scherzer, guys. At the end of the day, like I said, he has 9 strikeouts or more in 6 of 7 games this year when he faces a team for the first time. He is facing the Padres for the very first time. So give me Max Scherzer, the most psychotic pitcher in baseball. Please and thank you. Then, Yu Darvish at 5 strikeouts. Now, I know the guy's Ks go down on the road, and I know a lot of things say, oh, no. And his K prop is at 6 at plus 112. But this is at 5, and it's a minus 251. And he had 6 strikeouts versus this team on June 7th when he played them. And this team had really good numbers then. Their numbers have now fallen off. And over the last 4 games, Yu Darvish has had let me make sure I say the right stat on Hugh right there. Over the last 4 games, He's had 9+ Ks 3 out of 4 games, guys. He hasn't had 9+ Ks at all this year until 3 out of the last 4 games. So what does that mean? I'm thinking Austin Nola is starting to figure out how to call our man Hugh Darvish. Like I said earlier in the show, if you missed it, Hugh Darvish has had the same catcher his whole career, pretty much follow him. Whenever he gets traded, the catcher follows him. Well, this year they decided to get rid of that catcher. And it seems like it's taken a few months to get them clicking and to realize what to call and what pitches not to call in certain times. And the guy's been dealing over the last three out of the last 4 K prop wise, and he's going up against a team where the numbers have just dropped off compared to where he faced them last time. And he had 6 strikeouts in 7 innings. So I got to expect the same type of game from him today. The numbers are there. They're there for us to read and figure out. And Hugh Darvish has been a fucking beast this year. The road has been his problem, though. I do hear you there. Shohei Ohtani's fantasy score. At the end of the day, I will be on his K prop for a half unit at 8.5. And they're giving me a plus 122 on my book. Thank you, baby. I'll take it. But I wanted his fantasy score even more here. Why? This guy has a 1.44 career ERA versus the National League. I expect this guy to go 7+ innings. I expect the strikeouts to be there, and I expect 1 earned run or less. At the end of this day, this guy has been immaculate. He's allowed 1 earned run in his last 5 games, and I expect the trend to continue. Shohei freaking time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Smash the damn like if you haven't. Go on over to Prize Picks. Use promo code PUBSports. Why? Your first promo code up to $100. They got you. So do us a favor. Do you a favor. Use that promo code. So smash the like on the way out there. Let's have a blessed day. And we going to have a great day because it's Christmas in July. And it always rains money when it's Christmas in July. So let's go pay for them school clothes. Yes.